One of the best support units is about to drop, and honestly, it's a really, really tough call. Well, not really tough. I think there's a blatant answer for if you should summon or not. But the other banner that's going to be featured on this, obviously, we got to talk about, and the, A ranks. I almost said 4 stars, right? But today, we're going to be talking about if you should be summoning for Astra Yao on, ZZZ, or if you should be summoning for Ellen Joe. Now, before we get into that, we're going to talk about the 4 stars, obviously. We're going to talk about tier list ratings, my personal experience, and if they're going to be worth your while. Now, of course, if you like the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next ZZZ video comes out, right? Oh, let me lean back real quick. And we're good to go. All right, I don't know why I like putting my leg under my other leg. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about first Corrin, right? Corrin is a attack physical unit that we adore. She's adorable, right? She throws out a little chainsaw, little thingamadoodle bob, right? Now, she is a okay unit. Now, if you look at the tier list, she is at the bottom. She is one of the worst DPS characters in the game alongside Billy and Antoine. Now, of course, they're 4 stars, and the only other 4-star DPS character that outranks them is Piper, So, I mean, it is what it is. There's not a lot of 4-star DPSs to really, balance that out. So, being a tier 3 for a ZZZ DPS is kind of whatever to me, right? Now, Corrin is basically going to use her chainsaw ability to be able to do consistent damage over time, being standing still and holding the chainsaw. That's my main gripe with Corrin, is that Corrin is going to stand still a lot or move very, very slow. She is a tortoise of a DPS. Do I think that she's worth your time and effort? No. Especially if you're going for a DPS like Ellen Joe, who is also as part of these banners, right? But honestly, we'll get to that here in a second. I'm not saying that you should go for Ellen Joe, but I'm just saying. You've already got Billy, right? You already got Billy for free. That's the problem. You already have Billy for free, so why would you need Corrin? Simple as that. Corrin gets a thumbs down. No offense to you, Corrin. You're still good peoples, right? Let's go ahead and talk about Anby, though. Anby is the only 4-star stun unit, and she's used in a lot of teams. I've seen a lot of people use her. As you can see on the tier list here, she's at tier 1.5, which is still in the meta characters, obviously, not in the Apex, as Pridewind says. By the way, I use Pridewind because obviously Pridewind has a bunch of really, really good players in general, and it's not necessarily 100% correct, but I do agree that Anby deserves that 1.5 slot because she is a really, really good stun unit. Basically, you combo her using your attack button 3 times, and then you can hold your special button, giving you lightning damage and giving you that infusion, or not lightning, but electric damage, right? So overall, she's really, really good for stun units, especially if you don't have these other, these other units like Coletta, Lycion, Quingy, and of course, Lighter. These two being obviously limited, while Lycion and Coletta being the 5 stars that you get from generic pool, right? Now, I think Anby is always a plus. Even though you do get her for free, getting her at M6 is fantastic and will help your teams overall if you don't have other stun units, right? So getting an Anby is a plus. Plus, again, she is the only A rank agent that is a stun unit. So really take advantage of that if you have not gotten enough Anbys, right? Now, before we get into the main 5-star, I want to talk about Ellen Joe, because a lot of people are out there saying, she fell off. She fell off. Ellen Joe sucks. Ellen Joe's bad. Miyabi better. Well, of course, on the tier list, we know this. Miyabi is considered the best DPS character in the game, which is true. Listen, I love Jane Doe. Jane Doe is my girl. I will always love her. But Miyabi just outputs, and it's insane, right? And, when it comes to the Ice DPS characters, right now, regular attack characters instead of anomaly attack characters are just outright destroying regular attack characters. As you can see right here, the only one that even comes close is Zhu Yan, but Zhu Yan is still fighting with Yanagi, Jane Doe, and Bernice, who are all anomaly, and then also Miyabi being the one beating them all as an anomaly character. And it's just how it is, unfortunately. Like, they need to figure out something for the attack DPSs to make them just as good as the anomaly DPSs. Maybe it's an AP issue for their anomaly proficiency. I don't know. But yeah, when it comes to Ellen, Ellen is still a meta character. Like, a lot of people are just like, oh, Ellen's terrible. Ellen's not terrible. She still does good stuff. But of course, with Miyabi out there outputting damage like a mofo, Miyabi is just going to look 50 times better than Ellen Joe, which could be argued is the case. But I do think that Ellen Joe still has a place. Like, Ellen Joe is still decent when it comes to teams. She's still ranked as meta. She could still be used a lot of the time. Is she going to output more than Miyabi? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But that doesn't mean that the character's bad. And that's what I wish more gacha players understood about characters in gacha games. Just because one is better than the other does not mean that the other character is trash. Like, you're spreading misinformation, like, blatantly, and you look like a dummy, right? So, do I think Ella Joe's still really, really good or a must summon? I don't know about must summon. Now, whenever there is a character that is of the same typing that outplays another, right? Unless you have that main character, like, I wouldn't say summoning for the second best option is always the good thing. However, we don't know when Miyabi is going to be reran, and you're going to need a ice DPS. So really consider that. Plus, she's also getting her own outfit in this update, so I don't blame you if you summon for Ellen Joe, because she's still really, really good. And, in my opinion, still worth your polychrome. That's just me, though. Now, Astra Yao is not ranked, but I can tell you right now, she's going to be S tier. T0 right there next to freaking Caesar as a support character. She is busted, right? If you're going to summon for an A rank or a S rank character, it's her, right? So, let's dive in a little bit on what she could do. Oh wait, no, they don't have her stuff on the build, but basically she's able to boost up your attack, boost up your damage. She's gonna be able to like insta dodge everything. She's gonna be on the field while you're also on the field with her skill singing, and she's going to heal. She's going to freaking give you chain attacks. Like, she's absolutely busted with what she's able to do, and that's not getting into the mindscapes, right? Like, she is insane, and she's going to be S tier on the tier list regardless. She's going to sit right next to Caesar. If you don't summon for Astra Yao with your free-to-play currency, I'm going to question if you're sane, right? Because if you're going for characters that are going to last a very, very long time, Astra Yao seems like she's going to be that character that lasts a very long time. Period. Now, do I think that you, like, if it was her and Miyabi instead, would you summon for her? I still think so, because I think that any DPS character that's on this list, right, could benefit from Astra Yao. I think that's a no-brainer, because Astra Yao seems very universal for teams, right? Miyabi is great and deserves the spot and will always be the top DPS character. But if I'm thinking of characters that are going to be better than Miyabi, it's possibly Astra Yao. Now, people can fight me on that, and that's fine. But I value my support characters more because, yeah, I could do big unga dunga damage with Miyabi, but if I don't have somebody who's going to, you know, give me boosts, heal me, and also, like, give me chain attacks to do even more damage, Miyabi is still great, but Astra Yao could take a Miyabi and boost her up to the next level to where we will never see another DPS be Miyabi for a long period of time. I don't know. I just think that Astra Yao is going to fight Miyabi for that top slot as the best character in ZZZ. So should you summon for Astra Yao? Abso-fucking-lutely you should. I think that she's worth all your free-to-play currency. Now, the reason why I say free-to-play currency is I tell everybody, do not spend your money unless you have excess, right? I spend my money so that you don't have to. You can see how these summons are very predatory when I do summon, which I will be summoning on Saturday. However, if you have paid your bills, you have all your stuff in order, and you got the money for everything, you could put a little bit in. I wouldn't tell you to not put it into a slot machine, but I'm just saying, you know, if you want your PNG girl, you get your PNG girl, right? Anyways, y'all, that's going to be it for me today. Let me know if you're going to be summoning for Astra Yao or Ellen Joe. And let me know in the comments what you think about these characters in general. So, anyways, that's going to be it, y'all. Love you to death. And as always, we will catch you in that next video. Please take care and be safe.